So this is going to be my first match of the day in the gi. So we're going to start off, here we go. So I'm kind of feeling around it a little bit. I haven't done much stand-up in the gi, so I decided to pull guard. Got kind of a shin guard going. I go for kind of a sweep, doesn't work, so I retain the full guard. And so I'm trying to kind of like put my feet on the hips, trying to like cut an angle to get something going. I'm trying to get my right leg over his arm to go for a triangle, but you can see it's being a little bit trapped by his leg. And then here I go for kind of like a closed guard arm bar, which doesn't quite work, but I do use it to get a little bit of a sweep on him, which unfortunately doesn't last for long, as he kind of not really sweeps me right back, but I end up in kind of some kind of weird guard where I'm trying to go for a triangle. And then for a lot of this match, I'm kind of just stuck in this pit stop position, like trying to cut an angle for the triangle. So that's another thing I have to work on, is getting, a lot of the time I'll have a triangle, but their shoulder will be through, and for that reason I won't be able to complete the choke. So cutting the angle for the triangle is something I need to work on. I go for kind of like a pit stop sweep that doesn't work. And I'm going to fast forward this because a lot of this is just kind of messing around in pit stop. So here's where it gets a little bit interesting again. He breaks through the pit stop, so back into my full guard, I guess my right knee is still, I kind of have like a belt hook, I guess you could call it. So I'm kind of in a position to go for a scissor sweep here. I don't know why I don't pursue it, but then he steps over my leg, so I try to get my foot onto his hip to go for some kind of straight ankle lock, which doesn't really work because my left arm is kind of preoccupied fighting his grips on the left side, and I guess I could have done the ankle lock with one arm if I grabbed the gi, but unfortunately he was kind of trying to stack me at this point. He gets past my arm, and here I wrestle up a little bit, and to a top half guard, and ref stands us up because we were going to bump into the table, puts us back in the middle. We're both pretty tired at this point. So here there's a little bit of confusion over where I was, mostly on my part. I was also just kind of tired, didn't really understand what was happening. I was making sure that I was asking him if I was supposed to be on top, and I was. So I go into top half guard, slap bump, get started again. Trying to get some grips to try to pass his leg into side control or some kind of better position. He's trying to wrestle up a little bit. It's kind of like a dogfight position here. He sweeps me back into my closed guard. He steps over my leg to get he's trying to get into like past my leg or get past my knee to get into half guard, which he does. But now next he's trying to get his leg out of the entanglement, trying to advance to like a 3/4 mount, but I'm trying to, you can see I'm posting on his knee a little bit to try to keep it trapped. So I'm in this half guard position on the bottom now, and he tries to get over the mount, but I managed to scramble out, pass over his leg. Now I'm in top half guard, working on this path somebody in class showed me where you kind of weave your hand through the leg. I'm not sure if I'm doing it correctly, but you can see my right leg is caught on his leg, which makes me unable to complete the pass to like side control or mount. Here I'm kind of like a 3/4 mount, and the match ends. And luckily, it was a good match. It was very close, but I did win on points. So this brings us to the second match in the gi. So this one's pretty exciting. So we're fighting with the hands a little bit. Again, I pull guard and I go for this kind of sweep there to get on top. And then he's trying to pass my guard. He almost gets a side control, but I luckily wrestle up and get into my top side control where the ref stops us, resets us in the middle. So here we're going to start off again. So I'm trying to put pressure on him. You can see he's putting his right foot on his left knee to try to prevent my pass to mount. And he's doing a pretty good job. And I'm just trying to fight his hands. I go into kind of a different side control position here, trying to restrict his movement with using my knees as wedges. And you can see he's got a grip on my gi, which I'm trying to try to control me, which I'm trying to get off. And here I think I go for an arm. Let me see what happens here. Ref talking to the other ref. That's the part's funny. He's not looking at our match. But so I try to step over the head, maybe go for an arm bar. I abandon it. This part's kind of boring. Oh, here we go. So I step over, go for kind of like a scissor armbar position. And here I actually thought that he tapped. But then he was like, no, I didn't tap. And then we're both kind of thinking for a second, and then we realize that we have to keep going. So he tries to wrestle. I get him back in my closed guard. There we go. I go for kind of, so here I'm going to do a pendulum sweep. I have my right leg over his head, so I underhook the leg. And then here I prioritize the position, submission over position, which is never good. You can see it's not really working. He climbs back to my guard. So I'm going to try to go for another pendulum sweep. This one isn't as clean. I don't have my leg over his head, but it works anyway. And this time I decide to go for mount instead of trying to go for the armbar submission. And then here the ref is again gonna he gives me my 4 points for mount, and then he's gonna reset us in the middle again, since we're close to the other matches. So I settle into mount, we slap bump, and the angle here isn't very good, but what I'm trying to do is pin his left arm to the mat so that I can kind of open up some possibilities for submissions. So I managed to, I think I push on his elbow to get it to, yeah, you can see, my hand's behind his knee, but I get his elbow to the mat, and then I jam my head in there, lock up the figure four with my arms, and then climb over to side control and hip in for the tap, a classic arm triangle choke. So I won this match by submission. So this is the first no-gi match. So at the beginning I'm just kind of feeling out, trying to see maybe what his weakness is, clinch up for a little bit. And then here, so what I'm going to do is I shoot for a single on his left leg, which he backs up a bit. That gives me entry to go in with like an underhook on the right, overhook on the left, and go for kind of like hip throw, outside trip, right into a side control. I'm trying to flatten him out, drive my shoulder into his chin a little bit, and then I make a mistake here. I kind of help him out to get his arm on the other side of my head, which allows him to go into a guillotine. and that he holds even as I climb over to mount. And what I should have done here is climb, I think, all the way to the other side and maybe go for a Von Flu, but you can see I feel it getting tighter, and he almost sweeps me a little bit, and then I roll back over, but by then it's too late, and he gets the tap from that guillotine. So good match. So this is the final match I had in the gi. This was going to be for the gold medal if I won. Unfortunately, I didn't. I'm against this gentleman, a 3-stripe white belt, who goes to pull guard instantly. I kind of sit back into it instead of working on pass, get my foot on the hip, maybe going for an ankle lock, or trying to just get kind of like top 50-50 I would be happy with. But he's you can see he's pulling my gi, which is making the ankle lock impossible, but I take advantage of that to kind of get to almost like a top half guard. There we go. I got my half guard. I'm using a crossface to kind of flatten him out. Can't see. I think I still have top half guard. I'm trying to push his left knee down, get my leg over, maybe move to like a mount or a 3-quarter mount, which I seem to do right here, like a dope mount or a 3-quarter mount type position. I'm trying to break his grips, reduce his control. Right now, I think I get up a little too high. Or there we go, I lower it back down. I want to keep like a low center of gravity. And kind of posting on my head. This is where I think I messed up the whole match. I could have gone for his back here, but I lose balance and fall over into bottom half guard, which I guess he gets points for, because he was. If I had full mount and he swept me, then he wouldn't have gotten points. But since he had bottom half guard, or like quarter guard, I guess, then it doesn't count as a losing position. Anyway, I go for a sit-up, half-hearted sit-up sweep here, but I'm only on my elbow. I'm not on my hand, so it didn't work. You can see I'm grabbing the hand and going for the leg. I was thinking about another pendulum sweep, but I abandoned it. Here we go. Get the pendulum sweep going, but I think I held on to his leg too long. I couldn't maintain the top position, so I fall back into my guard here. Trying to break his grips a little bit, maybe go for another sit-up sweep. That doesn't work. I look at the time and realize I'm down on points. I have to get something going. So I'm kind of trying to cut an angle, but unfortunately that gives an advantage to step around my legs into almost side control. I try to turtle up a little bit, and I almost go for a takedown, but he rolls me right over into this kind of shin guard type position, and you can see I'll put my right leg above his head and go for like a scissor arm bar, but it doesn't work. He kind of walks around it and lands me in almost side control, but then I get my knee back in and I'm going for the arm bar again. Unfortunately, it's not tight enough. I go for kind of a inverted triangle, but give it up. And now he's just going to kind of like walk around trying to outrun my legs and pass my guard. And you can see right here he gets to side control, but my gi was actually covering my eyes. So we get reset in the middle. Him in top side control. And this was a good part. I get out of side control pretty quickly, but unfortunately right into his guard. And I'm trying to kind of frame with my knee, stand up, trying some different techniques to break the guard using my knees. And here you'll see he almost grabs my leg, but I pull it out just in time right here. Oh no. Maybe it's a little bit, but he's got some pretty strong grips. This guy was pretty good. Yeah, he almost grabs my leg. I step right over it. Again, I kind of kneel down so he can't sweep me. He's got this like lapel grip that's kind of preventing me from posturing up, unfortunately. And then I do some kind of maneuver. I jump and basically give him the sweep into mount, where unfortunately I spend the remainder of the match and lose on points. So after losing my first Nogi match, I was actually in the 170-pound division as well. So this is my first match in the 170-pound division. This one won't last very long. We go right to the clinch. This guy seems like a little bit more experienced than I am. He gets an underhook on me, and then he goes around my head for the guillotine, and I was thinking about tapping there. I didn't. I try to go for a trip. Doesn't work. I sit down with him on top of me. And at that point, you can see he's very tight under my chin. And he gets the tap there. So that was not my proudest match, but this guy was, I think, a lot better than me. So this is the second match I have in the 170-pound division. So this one ended up going to decision. I lost, unfortunately. Could have won for the bronze medal, since there weren't only, I think, 4 people in the division. But so it starts off pretty interesting. We're hand fighting a little bit. He ends up going for a guillotine and kind of jumping guard on me. And I didn't know if that was allowed, or normally you're not allowed to jump guard, but apparently if you have a submission, I guess you're allowed to. And you'll see I actually ask the referee if it's allowed. But so it's going to happen right here. I think he gets the arm around. I'm going for kind of like a weak fireman's carry takedown. Go to a single. He gets the guillotine, jumps up, crosses his legs. It's not that tight, but it's just like making a face because it's not on my throat, but kind of on my jaw. I guess it was a little tight. So I'm trying to fight the hands. I wasn't really sure if I can if he gets points for a sweep if I sit down into his guard. So he eventually abandons the guillotine, and I just kind of sit down into his guard. And so here's one of the good passes I had from this tournament. So first, what I have to do is work on kind of tripoding up, stacking him a little bit. First I have to break his guard, and then I can work on passing the open guard. So I'm kind of posting on him. You can see he goes for a sweep, which gives me almost the opportunity to jump over his leg. But I can get my right leg over into kind of half guard and back up from there, grab his ankles, get him onto his back, and from there I work on getting my right leg around his right leg. You can see I'm kind of grabbing his foot a little bit, and I managed to shuck the knee and get into side control, where unfortunately I cannot hold it for very long. You'll see here I try to make the jump to mount, and he takes advantage of that to kind of sweep me into this kind of side control position. I try to go for an inverted triangle, one of my signature moves. Doesn't work, and here I am kind of stuck in side control for almost the rest of the match, unfortunately. So here I kind of narrowly avoid being submitted from that Americana, to which I guess I thank my very flexible shoulders. And so I think I have him in a half guard here. He's really cranking that Americana, but I use the space to I'm trying to move his leg, get my leg around, and go for kind of retain my guard. But he's doing a good job of blocking my right foot with his left knee. Fortunately, I get it around, lock up the closed guard, and now I'm kind of like halfway up. If I could have done a sit-up sweep there, I maybe could have gotten him over into mount, but that did not work. He's fighting my hands a little bit, stands up out of my guard, tries to pass my knees, and I try to tuck everything in tight, make it hard to pass in kind of an inverted guard position here. He's trying to pin my leg to the mat so we can work on passing, and now he's in kind of, I guess this would count or kind of side control. I guess, yeah, this is probably, at this point, he's reached side control, and that's going to bring us to just about the end of the match, where he is going to win on points. So thank you for watching. That kind of covers my tournament experience at Fuji Allentown 2022. And a couple things I learned is that I need to work on my top pressure and maintaining top position. I need to work on my escapes from side control and mount, where I was trapped for a significant portion of my matches, or the ones that I lost at least. And I need to work on my guillotine defense, as that was the only submission I was submitted with, but it happened twice, which is not great. And I definitely, as always, I could work on my stand-up. Thanks for watching.